Next up, we are going to have the superintendent's report. Superintendent, are you ready?
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to zip through about 5 quick things here, but they're all important. First, I want to mention to the board and the public that we're going to be holding some statewide health and physical education meetings for the purpose of promoting best practices. So teachers and leaders in these areas working together to ensure that all of our students are engaged in best health practices and getting more physical education and thinking about specifically ways to integrate it across the curriculum and teach it specifically well. And those will be held in October, the 5th, 10th, and 11th at various places around the state, and they're posted on our website. I just wanted you to be aware. The second is something pretty exciting that you approved, and I want to give you an update. In December of 2015, the board approved a seal of biliteracy on qualified students' transcripts. You might recall that discussion. This past school year was the first year for which the seal was available, and there were 67 students who earned this biliteracy seal. There were, and I can go through this, the students in the schools, but if you want to know the schools that participated, there were 38 at Skyline High School alone, 9 at Taylorsville, there were some at Cypress, Granger, Hunter, Cottonwood, and Kearns. And so Granite District in particular has taken this very seriously. And it really promotes biliteracy and cultural competencies in many ways. And we're really proud of staff and our students and teachers out there who have made this possible for students. The third thing is Idle for Utah, and I have a visual aid. Board member Reby has already spoken for this to hang from her rearview mirror. But we participate in Idle Free Utah, and this is recognition of the State Board of Education and our participation. Deputy Jones made remarks this year. I had the opportunity to visit with them last year, make remarks at their big event. But it's really the work that we've done with transportation, busing, and I know just being a part of this, I'm much more mindful about turning my car off and not idling when I'm sitting in my car at places to help our environment. So we'll make sure that that's put in a place where you all can be reminded and public can be reminded of the importance of this, especially for our little kiddos and the air that they breathe. And then in addition, you've heard me talk about the design team. And as staff, we're really excited about thinking in a different way and engaging in a different way of being when either policies or processes take place. So if you look at your little half sheet here, for those of you that are on your electronic devices, I'm going to ask you to pick up a piece of paper and look at it. So if you go to step 1, it's on the gray side. And really the purpose of this, again, thinking about when we have policies, practices, or programs that come forward, and instead of being reactive and then after the fact thinking about all the things that we could have done differently, really being proactive on the front side. We actually have students in our schools who are engaged in the design team process. I know that Dr. Estrada, who's here in the audience, has worked with students in Salt Lake District, and so we have young people in our system really operating with this system in mind. So thinking about a challenge that comes forward, a specialist, a coordinator, anybody in the system can say, I'm working on this particular item, or I'm wondering about, or this new policy has been put in place. And they take that to their assistant superintendent, who then brings it to superintendent's meeting where we prioritize these design challenges. And then if you flip this over to the blue space, this is step 2, you'll notice that there are then members that are semi-permanent that will be assigned to this team. So we're thinking about our students with disabilities. How might this impact charter schools that might have different governance structures? What are the policy implications? What's our communication plan? Are there legal ramifications? What IT needs are there? Equity, since it's one of our imperatives, always thinking about, do we have policies and practices in place that are equitable across our system? Will it impact standards? So all of these things that we're thinking about instead of afterthought, we're front loading this. And then the person who brings the process forward walks away then with either instructions, maybe it gives them more questions to consider, maybe it improves policy and practice. So we're laying this out here because we're getting this started right away. And when you hear the term our design team, or we took this through the design team, you'll know more about what we're talking about. And pardon? Not HGTV, but that would be so awesome if we had our own show. So we're quite excited about this, and we'll continue to report, and we'll give you a concrete example of what we're doing. I think we've had digital teaching and learning and Deputy Stallings. Do you remember the other group that came forward that we're going to put 2 things through here?
We're going to talk about the K through 3
Oh,
year planning.
right. So yeah, we talked a little bit about K through reading as well. We've got so many K through reading programs running and trying to determine what's making a difference and thinking about what we could prioritize. And investing next year. Is that what you said? Okay. I think Board Member Belknap.
Okay. Board Member Belknap.
Dr. Dixon, could you put this in the library so that if we want to refer and not forget what the design team is, so it's in our library?
Would love to. I'm
Thank you.
actually seeing something that we need to correct on this sheet, so we'll get that cleaned up. And we had a concrete example on here that was about math and teaching and learning, and I see teaching and learning didn't get taken off, so we'll clean that up and then get that in the library. And then last but not least, SAGE scores have been, there are 2 quick things. Sorry, I forgot one. Before I go to SAGE, there's also, I need to talk to you about the design challenge, the report card design challenge. You might recall that we were tasked to do that, and it's in plan, and we have to report to the legislature in September our update on that, and we'll have a prototype ready. It's not quite ready today, so we'll get that to you before we give it to the legislature, but we wanted to get it on your radar that that process is in place. And then last but not least, we're ready to release SAGE results, and we'll be doing that Monday, but we're in the process of analyzing the data and putting a press release together, and we'll get that in your hands before we release it to our good friends in the media, so that you have eyes on that. So just wanted you to be aware. That's it. Thank you.
Any questions for the superintendent? Thank you.